No DQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Friday Night SmackDown for May something or other. I am not going to say the date because I do not want to piss off a certain demon, the devil's favorite demon. I want to keep him relatively happy. Anyways, let's get to SmackDown. Shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. I appreciate your viewership and support. Walter, I did not see your tweet. Now, let's get into this. We kicked off SmackDown with the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, coming to the ring with Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. Crowd was booing Roman heavily. He said this is not how they start things. He said it was time to acknowledge them, Columbia, South Carolina. But then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn showed up. Roman Reigns said it was time for them to acknowledge their tribal chief. Kevin Owens did not want to do this. Roman Reigns said that they should just drop off the championships for Roman and Solo and see themselves out. Owens wanted to fight. Reigns had Solo step in front of him, and then Roman Reigns wanted to give Sami Zayn a piece of his mind. Roman Reigns said that the one regret he had was wasting his life, his time on Sami Zayn. Zayn said his one regret was not blasting Roman Reigns with the steel chair sooner. Zayn said that Night of Champions will be his opportunity to get revenge coming off of Elimination Chamber. Said that Reigns and Solo Sikoa will not win because they're not as good as Zayn and KO. Furthermore, they're not even as good as the Usos. As you can imagine, Roman Reigns was not amused by this and had more to say, but then the Usos showed up. They attacked KO and Sami Zayn. Jimmy wanted to slap hands with Roman, but Roman, he was not happy with the Usos. He started to walk away and then bumped into Solo's shoulder. Little awkward moment there, and then Reigns left the ring. Another good opening segment here with these guys. I enjoyed it very much. The plot continues to thicken with the Bloodline storyline. Shanti is here with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, a Teddy Long inspired SmackDown. Holla, holla, holla. Yeah, we had some tag matches on this show. I've seen shows with more tag matches, but there were quite a few on this episode of SmackDown, which we'll get to here in just a moment. Hamp Connell sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. Says, today in history, 1996, the infamous curtain call. Yeah, 1996. I'm not going to say the date, but on this day that I'm recording this, back in 96, we had Shawn Michaels, The Click, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Triple H. They all celebrated. They broke character. Triple H lost his push for a while. What a time it was. Anyways, moving on here to the first match of the evening. We had the Brawling Brutes going up against, in their first match on SmackDown, Pretty Deadly. Now, before the match, Pretty Deadly were dressed up as chefs backstage. They cut a promo talking about how they have all the ingredients. They got the charisma, the in-ring skills, the looks, all that stuff. They came to the ring with a John Morrison-like entrance with the the camera work, the wind blowing in their hair. They had this 80s music. It was something. I'm not sure I'm completely sold on these guys yet, but solid match here. Sheamus was there on commentary. You had Pretty Deadly doing the Scott Hall fingers, and Pete Dunne ended up busting up their fingers. And not only that, but Prince got his nose busted up at some point during this match. However, Pretty Deadly got the upper hand for a while. They worked over Pete Dunne, aka Butch. Ridge came in after Butch built up some momentum. Ridge picked up both guys on his shoulders, dropped them. We got dueling 10 beats, but then something happened here, and Ridge was sent into the corner as Butch was climbing the top rope, and referee was checking on Butch. That allowed Pretty Deadly to illegally double team Ridge Holland with their split milk finisher. They got the win. And I just find it funny that this was considered to be cheating when tag teams really don't follow the rules to begin with. Like, they're always in there doing double team moves, whether the referee is watching or not. I know technically it's like a 5 count. You're not supposed to be in there, but teams just get in there, do whatever they want. So it's like, whatever. I mean, I would not even really consider this to be cheating in this day and age. But yeah, they did get the win, double teaming Ridge Holland with their finisher. And yeah, it was a good showcase. Definitely a positive for them to win their first match on SmackDown as opposed to losing. So yeah, decent showing. We'll see what happens with them next. We had a very classy Billy Graham, superstar Billy Graham tribute video. Very cool of WWE to honor him with this video, showing his career going back to the 70s, winning the WWF title from Bruno Sammartino. We got to see him with Vince cutting promos, saw him with the Grand Wizard, and saw him in the 80s, of course, when he shaved his head, grew out the goatee, and of course his Hall of Fame induction in 2004. He will definitely be missed. We had Zelina Vega versus Asuka, which means Zelina Vega back to taking some losses after her brief push, although this was not a complete squash match, I will say that. Zelina even got a pre-match promo, said that she is going to show that she can go toe-to-toe with the best, and Asuka will find out that she is ready. She was ready, but not quite ready enough. Now, Zelina got a hot start. Lots of offense from Zelina in this match. 619, she paid tribute to Eddie Guerrero on the top with the taunt, jumped off the top with a Meteora, but Asuka kicked out, and Zelina even got out of the Asuka lock at first, but then Asuka reapplied it and got the win. After the match was over, Bianca Belair ran down to make the save because Asuka would not let go of the submission hold. Asuka tried to spit mist in Bianca's face, but did not really connect. Not sure if that was a botch or not. But yeah, Asuka picks up the win over Zelina. No big surprise here, building up momentum to the Night of Champions premium live event. Next up, we had the Grayson Waller Effect. Grayson Waller's guest was the #1 contender for the new World Championship, AJ Styles. Grayson Waller got this big introduction for himself as the Triple Platinum Tongue, the Dynamite from Down Under, so on and so forth. And he was acting nice for a while. He asked AJ Styles about the title match, Styles brought up his injury, how he trained harder than he ever did before to get back. It was the longest injury of his career. Grayson Waller said he's looking forward to the title match, and his favorite part will be when they announce a new world champion, Seth freaking Rollins. So, of course, AJ Styles was offended by this, stood up, had a stare down with Grayson, and that was that. Now, we had a little message that was scrolling on the bottom of the screen. There were several messages, but there was one message that said TikTok. And we got to follow up to this later on in the show. You know what that means when it's TikTok, not talking about the app, but TICK, TOCK. Endeavor representative sent in a $5 super chat. Totally 100% legit. Endeavor representative says, I am recommending a storyline to Vince where Steve Blackman and Ken Shamrock become referees and train the current ones to not be so damn stupid. Well, you know what? If the referees were smart, then we would not have half of the finishes we have, and WWE would be in a lot of trouble. It's just like a slasher film. If the characters were smart in those movies, well, we would not really have those movies to begin with. So we need the stupid referees for the heels to get heat half the time, because if they win too much, then nobody's going to cheer the baby faces. You want to cheer the baby faces because the heels cheat. And in order for the heels to cheat, they need to be able to take advantage when the referees are being dumb. So yeah, just doesn't work that way. But I get what you're saying as far as the logic goes. Would be nice if the referees were just a little bit smarter, but they're not. And they probably never will be. We had the LWO backstage. Little pep talk for the main event versus the Usos. We had the Street Profits going up against LA Knight and Rick Boogs. LA Knight got on the mic before the match, said that he could beat the Street Profits with any team, and he brought out Boogs, and early on it was looking like it was going to be an upset. Rick Boogs could not be knocked down by Montez Ford. Dawkins tagged in, and Boogs picked him up, curled him several times. Knight then tagged himself in, and they worked over Ford for a while. I should say they worked over Dawkins for a while. Ford got the hot tag, came over the top with a dive onto both guys, and then they got Boogs back in the ring. Dawkins with the sky high, and Ford came off the top with the frog splash, pinned Boogs 1, 2, 3. After the match, LA Knight helped up Rick Boogs, gave him a hug, but then dropped him with his finisher, the BFT. And I guess we'll see LA Knight feuding with Rick Boogs. I just want to see LA Knight in the main events. Like, as much as I like Rick Boogs, I think that he needed to stay with Shinsuke Nakamura. But whatever. I mean, I wish Pat McAfee was around too. Like, Pat always acted super enthusiastic about Boogs, and I felt like he got Boogs over more than anybody else, including Boogs himself. Let's see. We have a few super chats here. Psycho Jet Black is back. Welcome back. We missed you. You were gone for a couple of streams. Says, imagine Karrion Kross having a TikTok influencer gimmick. Well, if Vince McMahon was still in charge, and he might be creatively to some degree, you tell him that idea, he might just run with it. Although Vince probably has no idea what TikTok is, which might be a good thing, because I could definitely see Karrion Kross getting that gimmick. Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. Says, is this what Karrion Kross is reduced to? And what he's talking about is we got Karrion Kross backstage, and they showed the tarot card with a picture of AJ Styles. Stupid ass tarot card readings with next opponent, then lose the whole damn feud. Then he starts over again. WTF. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. And I mean, AJ's not losing right before the pay-per-view to or premium live event. AJ's not losing to Karrion Kross. They got no idea what to do with Kross. Let's be real here. He's going nowhere. And unfortunately for Karrion Kross and his supporters, the second chance, like, just hasn't really connected, unfortunately, because I feel like the guy has such a cool presence to him that he should be a star, but not working out. Maybe Vince was right. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Says, don't fans complain that LA Knight is too old for a push? I mean, the people that will find anything to complain about. And my counter to that is, well, Bobby Lashley won the world title at like 44, 45, which means LA Knight, he's 40. He's got 4 or 5 years potentially on top if you start pushing him now and treat him like a main event superstar instead of a jabroni. But thank you for that, Psycho Jet Black. It almost is like Mark Marrow and Sable 2.0, but Scarlett really hasn't had much of an opportunity to do anything other than just stand around the outside of the ring. We had Cameron Grimes backstage being interviewed. Basic promo, just saying he's living his dream and he's going to go straight to the moon. I mean, not much to it. Just an excuse to get him on TV. Karrion is the new eater of pins. Yes, pretty much. We had Alba Fire and Isla Dawn making their in-ring debut on SmackDown, picking up a win over 2 random people. They won with their gory bomb, side Russian leg sweep combo finisher. And yeah, just a short match here to establish them. And speaking of women's tag teams, Liv Morgan is injured. And because of that, her and Raquel have been stripped of the women's tag team titles. There will be a 4-way tag team match. Raquel will get a new partner who I heard might have a black heart. They will be going up against Bayley and Io Sky because Dakota Kai is injured also. Those 2 teams plus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green plus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. These tag team titles are cursed. Now, here's my issue with this. Why did they have to strip Raquel of the titles? Why not just say Raquel has to find a new partner to fill in for Liv Morgan? The titles have already been so damaged in the booking that this just makes it worse by stripping them. Just have Raquel pick a new partner. She's in the match anyways. That I really don't get. Now, I presume that Shayna and Ronda are winning the titles here, although there's this talk that Ronda might be taking more time off. So who knows what's going to happen at this point? I just don't care about these titles. Even if Ronda and Shayna won it, they need to hold it for like a year, I think, for people to take the titles seriously again. And what about Alba Fire and Isla Dawn? They're the women's NXT tag team champions. Why are they not in the match? Why not do a title unification match and get rid of the NXT tag? Come on now. This is a little ridiculous. But yeah, that match is coming up on Raw on May 29th, which is a week from this Monday, right after the Night of Champions premium live event. And Raquel cut a backstage promo, said that Liv is still a champion to her. She's not given up. Then Bayley and Io Sky confronted Raquel to set up a match for next week where Raquel will find a partner. And like I said, I think that partner has a little bit of a black heart. And that also means that Raquel is not regaining the titles. Spoiler alert. We had Austin Theory come into the ring for a promo, and he commented on why he lost the triple threat last week in the world title tournament. Basically blamed it on being double teamed by Bobby Lashley and Sheamus. Theory said he's upset with Sheamus. Doesn't understand why Sheamus would do that to him because they have a lot in common. They're big muscular guys and they both beat John Cena. Sheamus showed up, grabbed the mic, but then laid out Austin Theory with a bro kick, dropped the mic, and we had a match set up for next week's SmackDown, which is being pre-taped, and you'll be able to check out spoilers over on NoDQ.com. Calvin Bowman wants to know who I think her partner will be. I thought I dropped a hint, but I mean, you tell me. Endeavor Representative with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Totally legit. Endeavor Representative says, I wanted a Kane cameo for May 19th, but got overruled. Well, why did you have to say that now? You just mentioned the date and you made me say it in the super chat. And now somewhere Kane is going to be upset with me and I'm probably going to have nightmares tonight. So thanks a lot for that, Endeavor Representative. Really appreciate it. You son of a bitch. All right, moving on here. We had Paul Heyman with the Usos, and he said that Roman Reigns forgives them. But Roman Reigns will not be at ringside for the match with the LWO because the Usos are the greatest tag team of all time. They can handle the LWO, not the NWO. I mean, they definitely could not handle the NWO, but, well, I mean, the NWO today, they could definitely handle, like Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan. Not sure that they could take the LWO or the Usos or anybody in WWE at this point. We had the LWO versus the Usos in the main event of the evening. LWO with some early momentum. They taunted the Usos. Usos took control after the break. Rey got a hot tag, but then Jimmy Uso with a cheap shot gave the Usos the upper hand again. Santos Escobar tagged back in, came off the top with the top rope Hurricane Rana to Jimmy. Jimmy kicked out of it. Crowd was really enjoying this match. You had a very high-pitched "This is awesome" chant, so the kids were really loving it. Loving the action here. Rey Mysterio back in, went for the 619, but got caught with a super kick. And then Jay came off the top of the Uso splash, but Rey kicked out. And then at this point, you had Kevin Owens show up. And while the referee was distracted with Owens, Sami Zayn pushed Jimmy off the top rope. And 619 to Jay. Santos Escobar took advantage, pinned Jimmy Uso. LWO finally got a win. And backstage, of course, Roman Reigns not happy with this, but it's his own damn fault. Like he refused to go out there, and KO and Sami Zayn interfered, and LWO actually picked up a win in our main event over the Usos. I like this because now the Usos are losing and they're continuing to lack the momentum, and Roman Reigns is unhappy. So WWE did a great job with the Bloodline storyline on this show. Overall, pretty solid show. I enjoyed it for the most part. Building Nexus said the Bloodline is not fine. Well, you were definitely right about that. Things are not fine with the Bloodline. And Totally Legit Endeavor representative sent in a $2 super chat. Says, there goes your WWE producer contract ripped up. Yes, and thank you for that. Totally Legit Endeavor representative. Thank you for bringing up that producer contract. All right, so letter grade. I thought it was a pretty good show, and I'm going with a solid B. I liked it. And I definitely recommend checking out the Bloodline stuff. Next week's SmackDown, as I mentioned, is pre-taped, which means spoilers will be up. And that also means I will not be doing a live stream next Friday night. But do not worry. There will be a lot of content. Trust me. Sunday night, we got the No DQ review. And then all through the week, there will be live streams. We got Tuesday night, Night of Champions predictions. Thursday night, we got Double or Nothing predictions. And then, of course, Raw recap, Dynamite recap. And then Saturday night and Sunday night will be the reviews of Night of Champions and Double or Nothing, respectively. Then after that, back to Raw. And then the Tuesday night after the pay-per-views will be the next No DQ review to review those shows. A lot of content coming up. I'll be taking one night off next Friday because I just don't like doing the live stream recaps of a taped show. So there you have it. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, can the Usos handle the No Limit Soldiers? Yes. I mean, even Bart Gunn could handle the No Limit Soldiers. The No Limit Soldiers showed up and they got booed in the South by the fans at the Superdome, and that was pretty much the end of them. The crowd was very much behind the West Texas Rednecks, which is not what WCW wanted, and they ended up getting rid of the No Limit Soldiers, and the Rednecks never really got any momentum because WCW wanted them as heels. Kind of sounds like modern day WWE, where if it goes against what the company wants, they have to put the hammer down and squash the group. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Much love to you all. Much appreciation. Give the video a thumbs up if you can, and spread the word. Tell a friend. We got a lot of content coming up on the channel this week, so any word of mouth would be very much appreciated. Talk to you all next time. Thank you so much again. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and I will see you all next time.